Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Life, as we know it, is tough. Being human isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Some days it can feel like one long, drawn-out misery. But if you're thinking things can't get much worse, just wait until you find out what it would be like to be a cockroach. In today's video, we'll be looking at the dark side of roach existence. So grab some bug spray, cover your mouth, and settle in, because we're about to take a deep dive into the scary truth about cockroaches. 1. The dark life of a cockroach. Why existence is a nightmare. There are 4,000 different types of cockroaches around the world. Each species has its own unique set of struggles, but all roaches share one common enemy: humans. We tend to think of roaches as pests or even monsters. To a cockroach, we are the monsters. No matter where they go, they're constantly at risk of being swatted, trapped, or poisoned by humans who see them as nothing more than vermin. 2. Cockroach Chronicles. The most unfortunate life you can imagine. Cockroaches live in the shadows, hiding from the sun, and more importantly, hiding from us. They scavenge whatever food they can find, often eating spoiled or decaying matter. When they do come out to play, they're often the target of predators, like birds and even other cockroaches. Their most unfortunate quality, however, is their ability to survive almost anything. Nuclear attacks, floods, extreme temperatures, you name it, they can probably survive it. This means they have to live with the knowledge that no matter how bad things get, they will probably survive when other animals can't. This awareness gives their lives a kind of dark meaninglessness. After all, what is the point of enduring life as a cockroach, if you're just going to keep living no matter what happens? 3. From trash to tragedy. The misery of being born a cockroach. If you're a cockroach, you probably don't remember much about your parents. That's because most cockroaches mate, and then the male leaves the scene. Females carry their offspring inside their bodies until they are ready to be born. When the time comes, the mother gives birth, and then she dies. So, from the moment they're born, cockroaches are on their own. They spend their days searching for food, and their nights trying not to get eaten. It's not exactly the ideal way to start off life. 4. Cursed existence. A day in the life of a cockroach. A day in the life of a cockroach is never truly over. That's because these little creatures don't sleep. Instead, they enter a state called torpor, which allows them to conserve energy when they aren't moving. This means that a cockroach's day can be filled with constant activity, scurrying around in search of food and mates. If that wasn't enough, they also have to deal with the constant threat of predators. Cockroaches are hunted by everything from birds to frogs to humans. So a day in the life of a cockroach is always filled with danger. 5. Why cockroaches are the ultimate underdogs of Cockroaches have been around for a long time. In fact, they were alive during the time of the dinosaurs. They were one of the most successful species on Earth, and they've managed to survive countless natural disasters. Cockroaches are truly the underdogs of They're often seen as pests, but they're really just trying to survive. Cockroaches are an important part of our ecosystem, and they play a vital role in the food chain. So next time you see a cockroach, remember that it's just a little guy trying to get by. 6. The terrifying truth. Why being a cockroach is the worst fate. Cockroaches are often seen as pests, but being one is actually the worst fate imaginable. That's because cockroaches live in filth and are constantly exposed to disease. They also have to deal with the constant threat of being swatted or trapped by humans. But perhaps the worst part of being a cockroach is knowing that you read nothing more than a meal for something bigger and stronger than you are. 7. Cockroach life. A journey through the most unwanted existence. Being a cockroach is like being unwanted. No one wants you around, not the humans, and certainly not other animals. You're constantly on the lookout for food. But it's hard to find decent grub when everyone decent throws you out. When you finally do find something to eat, it's probably trash. And let's face it, who wants to make a meal out of someone else's garbage? 8. Why cockroaches live in shadows. The unseen struggles of these pests. Cockroaches live in the shadows to avoid detection by predators. But there's another reason why you'll never see a cockroach enjoying a sunny day. Sunlight can be deadly to cockroaches. It's not just that they can't stand the heat. Sunlight can actually burn their skin and kill them. So if you ever see a cockroach out in the sun, feel free to step on it. 9. Cockroach woes. Discover the horrors of life in the dark. Cockroaches are often seen as pests. But have you ever stopped to think about what their lives must be like? For these little insects, life is a constant struggle to survive. They're constantly on the lookout for food and water, and they have to deal with the constant threat of predators. Cockroaches are also very sensitive to changes in their environment. They need a dark, humid place to live, and they can't survive in areas that are too cold or too hot. 10. The agony of existence. Living as a cockroach in a human world. Humans are the ultimate predators of cockroaches. We've developed countless ways to kill roaches, and we're constantly on the hunt for these little critters. Cockroaches live in fear of the day they'll be swatted or trapped by a human. There's no creature more terrifying to a cockroach than us. Number 11. Why would anyone want to be a cockroach? A deep dive. Imagine being hated by every single person on the planet. Imagine being killed on sight, no matter where you go. Now imagine being born into that world. That's what it's like to be a cockroach. So why would anyone want to be a cockroach? 12. Cockroaches. Nature's most detested and misunderstood creatures. Cockroaches are often seen as pests. But these little creatures are actually fascinating. They're incredibly strong and can lift objects many times their own weight. They're also very intelligent and can solve complex puzzles. Cockroaches are also capable of great feats of endurance. They can travel long distances in search of food and water, and they can survive in extremely hot or cold environments. Number 13. Life as a cockroach. The ultimate struggle for survival. Life as a cockroach is a constant struggle to survive. These little creatures are hated by humans and other animals alike, and they're constantly on the lookout for food and water. But despite all these challenges, cockroaches survive. In fact, they thrive. Cockroaches are one of the most successful species on Earth, and they've managed to survive countless natural disasters. They're truly the ultimate underdogs. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.